So we will move on now to item 5A, new business. This is 599 Cedar Avenue. It's a request for an extension of a planned unit permit for a period of 1 year for a 14 home development at 599 Cedar Avenue, San Bruno, per chapter 12.128 of the San Bruno Municipal Code. Peninsula Christian Fellowship is the applicant and owner. Staff report, please.
Thank you. Good evening. The Planning Commission at their July 17th meeting approved the planned unit permit as well as a tentative parcel map to allow the development of the Cedar Grove home development. That was a 14 new single-family homes as well as the subdivision and related improvements. The planned unit permit is valid for a period of 1 year. And as indicated in your staff report, the tentative parcel map is valid for a period of 2 years and then has been automatically extended by some recent changes to state law for an additional year. As we're coming up on that 1 year timeline for the planned unit permit, the applicant has requested an additional 1 year extension to the planned unit permit. Due to the current economic situation, the applicant is currently marketing the property and needs that additional time to market the property and then have the new developer come in and submit the building permits for the development. I'd be happy to try to answer any of your questions.
Any commissioners have any questions of staff?
Through the chair.
Commissioner Peterson.
Would it be appropriate to consider the condition of the property is kept in when considering this extension?
The condition that it be maintained well during that period of time?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because my experience is when I drive by there, it doesn't look very neat, and it looks like they're sort of, it's like a trailer park, sort of. And I don't think it's zoned for trailer parks.
No, they do have their temporary office located at that spot, so I can have maybe the applicant explain further what they intended to use the property, and we can also work with them to make sure it's well maintained.
Thank you.
Through the chair. Unfortunately, I have a question. Has there been any feedback from the public on this?
We did do a courtesy notice, and we did not receive any comments.
Throughout the last year, has there been any other?
I haven't received any, Aaron?
We did speak to one neighbor who said that he actually met with the pastor of the church and discussed the plans, and he understands that given the current economic climate that the project wasn't going to come to fruition in the last year, and he supported this and wants to put the project in a position that if it were to go forward in the future, not have to go through, or the new developer come in with a completely new plan, because he was happy with the plan as it was passed.
Thank you.
Any other questions of staff? Okay, seeing none, is the applicant here? Would you mind stepping to the podium, stating your name and street for the record, please?
Good evening. I'm Pastor John Grucy. I'm the pastor of the church, and I appreciate your patience. It's been long, hard 7 years for us, and I appreciate your patience, especially with this project. As you know, you approved it last June, and we were moving forward when the economy went south, and it affected our developer, and we felt it was in the best interest not to wait for him for his business to turn around. So we pretty much made the decision to end our relationship with him. So what that leaves us is really just two options, at least as we discussed it as a board. My board is here with me tonight. The first one is to find a developer, and as we've discussed that with different people, it seems that's going to be either a small or a mid-sized developer. But those are the folks who have been hit the hardest by the economy. And so we're going to be pursuing that, looking at potentially a new developer to come in and pick up the project. The other option, which is to put the whole project on the market as a whole and just get out of the development aspect of it and just move on. In regards to the property itself, we've been maintaining it as best we can. Weeds down all around the sides, the front, the bushes trimmed. My office is there, and that's where we've been since the fire. And so I would appreciate that it would stay there, because it's very expensive to rent otherwise. That's incredibly a good deal for us. So so far, I think when that issue came up last, all the neighbors were okay with that. They didn't complain of us, having it there. So I would appreciate your consideration of that.
Thank you. Is there any questions for the applicant this time?
Through the chair.
Commissioner Peterson?
Would you object to a condition that the property be maintained in a neat manner and there not be house trailers or you don't maintain a residence there?
Oh, no.
You? Or a residence maintained on the property?
When you mean house trailer, would you be saying that we would have to remove the office that we have there now?
No, I remember one time I went by, there was like a travel trailer.
Oh, I see, yeah. We have, actually, those are neighbors. They've asked us to allow them to use our property to park their trailers. And so we could ask them to remove them. So I'd be happy to remove them if that would secure your support. Sure.
I think that would be
sure
appropriate.
Not a problem.
Well, thank you very much.
Sure.
Any other questions of the applicant?
One other question.
Certainly.
In your considering other developer builders, it's possible that you would come back with a different application, isn't it?
It depends, yes. Yeah, I guess the new developer would have to study what he can do. It has to make sense for them,
right.
All that. So that is a possibility, yes.
Possibility. They may look at exactly what you have and say, we'd like to change several aspects of it. Maybe the roadways, I don't know.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak on this matter? Okay, seeing none, I'll close it and bring it back to the commission for their pleasure.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Marshall.
I'd like to make a motion that we grant a one-year extension with conditions that Commissioner Peterson added.
Second.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second on the floor.
I'd like to ask a question on it.
Certainly.
Staff, if the owner were to decide that they wanted some changes, if there were changes in anything that's been submitted to that level of detail, of course it's not a highly detailed construction plans, they would have to come back to request a revised permit, right?
Correct.
So what we would be doing here tonight, if this motion passes, is approving the project as it was approved, not with a few changes.
Correct. The exact same project that was approved last year.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Satisfy you, Commissioner?
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Okay, it passes, and I guess there still is a 10-day appeal period for this, right? All righty, thank you very much.